Hello and welcome to Black Petal Gardening. My name is Sia and we are in Oregon, Zone 8B. And as you can tell, it is a little bit of a sunny day, which is such a relief after having so many days of rain and colder weather. Now, today is a momentarily respite. It's going to get back down into the cold weather again, but towards the end of next week, we're looking at 70s, maybe even 80s, which is exciting. Granted, it's going to get colder again after that, but I think we are turning a corner. So I'm looking forward to being able to finally put some more plants into our raised beds. But today is Earth Day, so we are going to be doing some planting and love to have you come along with us. Here we go. Let's go see the results of our efforts, as well as a little bit of an update for our what we're calling blueberry area. So as you can see, we've added some stone as a walkway. We also moved the lavender, and these stones were part of a failed garden bed that we had put into the front yard. It just got overrun with weeds and grass because it had previously been part of the lawn, and we hadn't really done anything with it. So it was great that we could go ahead and reuse these for a different application. And actually, we have a bunch still, and we'll probably put those into some place in our garden as well. Okay, now this is the area where I wasn't sure what we were going to put in and whether we were going to do things in pots or into the soil. And because of what we picked, I wanted to make sure they stayed in pots because I don't want them to get overgrown and take over like our blackberries did and do, because this is a fall gold raspberry, so it's supposed to have a golden color. It's basically just a stick with a little bit of leaves on it. We'll see how it goes along. I'm hoping that it will survive and be happy where it's at. Hard to say. Over here, we do have a variety that is intended for containers, and that's this raspberry shortcake. And so I'm really hopeful that we will see something from this. I want to say that the tag says it's supposed to do stuff in the fall. Or no, actually, I think that was the fall gold. Fruit's supposed to come on in July. That's a lot of growth needed by July, but anyway, this one's looking very healthy to me, so we'll see where that lands. And then over here, Scott, when we were at the nursery, was very excited about them having lingonberries. I've never had a lingonberry, so I don't really know what it tastes like. I don't even know if I've ever seen one, but we decided to grab one of those, and it tends to have a little bit of a smaller footprint, supposedly. maybe a foot, foot and a half is the size that was mentioned. So we thought that would be a good option to be in a pot. And so we've put it in our potted area. Over here, I'm anticipating maybe some kind of annual flowers or something that I can change out with the seasons. So I'm gonna have to figure out what pot I want to put there, and obviously what to put in for the spring, summer. I'm kind of leaning towards violets or pansies or something like that. But yeah, so very excited about how this is turning out. Obviously, we do still have a little bit of stuff to deal with over here to finish this off. That is going to be sometime in the future, but for now, I think things are looking pretty good. This is our pink lemonade blueberry. It's alive, so that's, I think, a good sign. Not sure. I'm gonna pull that off just because it looks weird. And then over here, I think this one was the peach sorbet. Again, it's alive. It seems to be putting some flowers out, so that's a good sign. And our old diehards, this is our most prolific one, and it's definitely got a lot of flowers on it. This one back here, I don't want to step on anything. It's got a few flowers as well, so hopefully it's gonna do well for us. This one I wasn't sure. I thought honestly that it was basically dead, but as you can see, we do have some flowers. Some leaves, so it may be a later setting blueberry, which is great. Having that variety, I think is helpful. Let's see, and it's called Blu-ray. So we'll see how that ends up. This one has definitely got some activity on it. Flowers are growing. We've got some new shoots coming out, so I'm considering that a very good sign. And then we're over here to our honeyberries. This guy was a little, anemic looking, but he or she, I guess, is putting out flowers, or at least one. So that's a good thing. I think there might be one coming over here. And this one is definitely taking off. This one's the Blue Hokkaido is the name of it. It's also a honeyberry, and this one does have multiple flowers on it, and I saw one of those big fat black and yellow bumblebees on it. So excited about how that's doing. And just to see, this one's Blue Mist. That's that one. Not bad at all. Very pleased with the work that we've done so far. It is, of course, never ending. But yeah. Okay, and I guess let's go take a little look, see over here. You can see we still haven't gotten any growth yet on our beans, which I'm not super surprised just because it has been fairly cool, so that may be stunting some of its germination. The strawberries, however, are doing really well. These are the ones that were that are a year old for our house, except for that guy right there who is probably about 4, maybe even 5 years old. So next year we'll probably have to swap it out with something new. But these seem to be coming along very, very well. And then here's the next batch of new ones coming up. Got some good growth. So we did manage to get the rest of the green colored green stock tiers planted. And we did a alyssum called Sweet Rosie O'Day as the flower, and then all the rest of that is little gem lettuce. Those were those little miniature romaine heads. This is the green ice whole thing of lettuce. We got some French breakfast radish in here. We have some short and sweet carrots. That's what these 4 pockets are. And then last but not least, we also have a little bit more of the little gem lettuce on there. Here we have nasturtium, and then we have the green ice. As you can see, it's all over the place. So that'll be interesting. And then in this one, we have some cilantro. We have some red cord chantilly, I think it is, carrots. We have 3 pockets of those. And then we've got some kale. And over here is the strawberry spinach. And that's that spinach, if you watched the seed haul that we did, that's supposed to have berries with it. We'll see what that ends up being like. So it is a rather nice day. It's supposed to get up into the 60s, which is a nice change. We're going to get back down into the 50s, unfortunately, over the next few days. But next week, towards the end of the week, we're looking at 70s, which is exciting. I'm hoping that that's going to help, spur some of the germination on things that we haven't seen germinate, and of course spur the growth on things that we have. So in our first and only raised bed that does have stuff planted in it, our peas coming along quite nicely over here, and again over here. I mentioned in a different video that I did add some more peas in here. These took a fair amount of time to germinate, so I'm not surprised that they're not coming up. And you can see all these little plants in here, probably just a ton of weeds, and that is my own fault for churning up the bed before planting. It was a huge mistake. So I think I blamed it on the potting mix or raised bed mix. I don't think it was that at this point. I think it was whatever was in the native soil. I churned it up, brought it to the surface, and now it's exploded. So this is going to be a handful getting taken care of, but I also don't want to mess with it until it's established itself a little bit at least, so I can see if it's actually something that I meant to plant versus something that should not be there. And as you can see, I did put some straw down, and I'll probably put a little bit more in this area once the extra peas that I planted come up. It might not be a big deal just to put the straw down and have the peas come up through it, but I want to make sure that there won't be any problem. And you can see we did do a little bit of an augment to our arch here in getting some PVC pipe to really give it a structural boost. All right, enjoy your day. Take care of yourselves. Bye-bye.